English or Telugu also mixed. On చేసి పెన్ డ్రైవ్లో 8th సివిల్ టాక్ అని ఉంటుంది ఆ ఫోల్డర్లో PPT ఉంటుంది. ఫోల్డర్స్ ఉంటాయి కింద. ఫైనల్ PPT అని ఫైనల్ PPT. ఓకే పెట్టండి. Good morning to all. So myself Durga Prasad. So I am from EEE department. So today I am going to explain the data analytics for machine learning. So from the ABCDs of data to application of data to machine learning. So completely I will give the entire demonstration. Generally, before going to discuss about the classical, forget about these techniques. So before going to discuss about the what is data, so what are the different types of data and how you can understand the data, everything. And what is the need of machine learning for today's engineering problems or processes. Before going to discuss all these things, so first let me give a brief overview of the present systems with mathematical equations. You all from like different type of engineering branches, you are from engineering branches, so you know how to obtain or how to define a system or a process. Any process you may consider an electrical process or electronic system or a civil or maybe mechanical or computer, whatever the system it is. So if I take a system or a process or a plant or a whatever it may be, so let us consider the system have input of x and the output of y. Okay, so I am taking a system. You don't want to give you direct definitions of data or direct applications of machine learning. So what we know and how the conventional processes are defined, from that point what is the significance of machine learning and what is the significance of data and how you can represent the data. So like that we will discuss. Okay, right? Is it clear? I don't want to give you the direct definitions. I don't want to make the things as very complex. So I will play a few movie related comedy clips and some clips related to spiritual concepts, like that. Everywhere you can observe the both systems. The one is the system which is described by the mathematical equations. The another one is where you cannot define the system with mathematical equations. So step by step we will go. Let us consider very simple. So how many of you are from electrical? Anybody? No? Mechanical? Okay, okay. Civil? Majority. Computer science and allied branches? All computer science related, right? So under third year and second year also. So I think you are aware of BEEE subject, right? BMSc subjects, right? Okay. Now, so I am taking it is very difficult to understand this particular block diagram where the input is x, output is y. So I will simplify the things like, for example, I am taking very simple electrical circuit because I am from electrical, so I want to start from the electrical concept. Slowly I will explain the concepts of mechanical, concept of civil, concept of computer science, etc., etc. also. And later we will take the same problems in the machine learning also. Okay, no issue. For example, I am taking very simple electrical circuit of voltage source V and resistors, two resistors R1, R2, and my output voltage is, I have to take the voltage across the resistor R2. Can you solve the circuit? It is very difficult, no, for you. Can you write the Ohm's law? What is the Ohm's law here? V is equal to I R. What is R? Series connection of two resistors R1 plus R2. Now can I find out the I? I is equal to, sorry, V by R1 plus R2. Now my output voltage V2 is equal to the resistor R2 into I. So if I write that R2 I is 1 by R1 plus R2 of V. So therefore my final equation is very simple equation, R2 by R1 plus R2 into V. Am I clear or not? Yes or no? Right? So I is equal, sorry, V2, sorry, V2 is equal to R2 by R1 plus R2 into V. Right? Now I will make an analogy between the black box system and my electrical system, where my input is V. Here my X is V. So my X is, my input is V. I am going to give a voltage of V. If you consider it is a mechanical system, I have to apply a force of F. That is my input force to move the body. If it is electrical, I have to apply a voltage to move the electrons. Both are same, na? No. So my input is V is equal to X. My output Y is equal to V2. Now the relation is something like V2, nothing but Y is equal to R2 by R1 plus R2. R1 is resistor, R2 is also resistor. Resistance value is constant. Constant by constant is constant. So Y is equal to that constant I am calling as M into X. What is this? Y is equal to Mx is a line passing through origin where independent variable is X, dependent variable is Y. My Y depends on X. Isn't it? So this is what the classical system, classical plant. Are you got my point or not? It is one of the engineering problem. Am I correct or not? Isn't it? So that same type of problem you may come across in the first year of BTech, in the lab as well as in theory. Means that is one engineering system or engineering process where the input is X and the output is Y. Something here input is V and the output is V2. And the output is related with input. It's a mathematical expression called Y is equal to, Y is equal to, help me, Y is equal to, that is a standard form. Na? So which is a mathematical equation which describe the system is Y is equal to Mx, which is algebraic equation, right? Y is equal to Mx is algebraic equation, right? Yes or no? Now, now see. So how, because we are at engineering, na? So slowly I will convert the move the topics from engineering to 10th class as intermediate mathematics, and then to 10th class, and then to second class or first class mathematics. From that point again I will start the machine learning. So this is what the conventional engineering, we started the mathematics from first class onwards by calculating the tables are by knowing the additions and multiplications. At the same point, we can start the machine learning. At the same point, we can start the data analytics, because I don't want to make the things as complex. That is the main thing. Now see, so I am taking very one difficult engineering system, engineering electrical system. So consisting of input and output and having some system parameters, which is described by an algebraic equation of y is equal to. Now see the complexities involving the system. It is very simple system. You cannot find such type of system in real time, isn't it? In the real time, we don't find such type of systems. They are ideal systems. Generally, we will not find out ideal systems in real time scenario. There are so many complexities will be there. There are so many constraints will be there in practical systems. Example, let us consider this resistance offered some inductance. Then what happens? What happens? If we add inductance, what happens? It's simple. If you add inductance, what happens? Do you know the voltage and current relationship for the inductance? V is equal to L di by dt. Now the derivative part, if you add to the equation y is equal to some mx plus L into dx by dt. Let us consider. Now what happens for the system? The system, the same system, if you add one more component, the algebraic equation becomes what is that equation? New equation, y is equal to mx plus some L into dx by dt. Derivative, differential equation of first order. Yes or no? If I add one more inductance here also, it becomes a second order differential equation. Yes or no? Now, so if I add few more systems, a few more components, the number of equations will increase. Initially it is one equation, becomes two equations, becomes three equations, depending on the type of loops. If you increase the number of components and number of loops, automatically the number of equations described by the system will increase. Remember, so initially it is a simple system, but such type of systems never exist. So many complexities, so many practical difficulties will be there in the real time systems. Whatever mathematics we are doing after so many assumptions, right? Very simple example. So it is electrical example. We are not awareing of electrical example. If you say like that, for example, this is my body. So this is one body. Now I am going to apply a force of F. What happens? Body gets displaced. Now what is the equation describing the system? Applying force F is equal to mass of the body and gets displacement, change in velocity. So F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. Neglecting that, frictional force, gravitational force, etc., etc. Now let me increase the complexity, like instead of taking a horizontal surface, let me take inclined surface of angle theta. Now what happens? Just recall your intermediate physics now. See the equations, the number of equations, how difficult it is. Yes or no? Right? So this is what all the engineering systems. Na? So no, see, if you take any engineering system, if you write a set of equations after so many assumptions, you are going to get the system equations. And if you solve all the equations, we are going to get the output. How you are getting the output, I will tell you now. See, again, I don't want to take the complex system, so I want to take very simple system of y is equal to mx. Now for simplicity purpose, it is 1 and 1. I will take like that. Then the what will be the slope? 1 by 2 x. Isn't it? 1 by 2 x. Now, so this is my system. So instead of taking the variables, I am taking constants of 1 and 1. So simply the equation becomes V2 is equal to R2 1 by 1 plus 1 2 into V, my input X. Am I clear or not? So if you see generally why the MPC is required to enter into the engineering, now I think you got some idea, because we know how to solve linear equations in intermediate. We know how to solve nonlinear equations or differential equations up to intermediate mathematics. While entering into the engineering, the same equations we are going to solve, but not for the direct mathematics. It is nothing but system, solution of systems, our engineering systems. If you take mechanical, mechanical system. If you take hydraulic, hydraulic system, whatever it may be. Clear or not? If you have any doubts, you may ask, right? So I am not discussing anything regarding the data. I am not discussing anything regarding the machine learning. I am discussing what is our present status in engineering. If you are in engineering second year, third year, what should be the status of a student? If I provide a system, you should be in a position to write the equations. You should be in a position to solve the equations. No, I am taking ideal conditions. Comfortable with mathematics, then you should be in a position to solve such type of equations. So I don't know the engineering systems. I don't know the engineering systems. I don't know the electrical circuit, mechanical circuit, or some hydraulic circuit, some civil related circuit, some structure based circuit. I don't know how to write the algebraic equations for the systems. So this part is not completely is unknown for me, because I am not an engineering student now. Okay, so 2 years just now it is my present state T. Now after before 2 years T minus 2, I am at intermediate, and now I am taking a system, not system, now it is the equation y is equal to 1 by 2 x. Now what is when my x is 2, what is the y? Again, what type of system I don't know, because I am not electrical, I am not a mechanical engineering student, I am not a computer science based student. So my input is x, my output is y, and that is equation is y is equal to 1 by 2 of x. Now I am taking my x is 2. Now what will be the y? 1. If my x is 1, what will be the y? 0.5. If my x is 4, what will be the y? 2. Clear? If my x is 10, what will be the y? 5. Very good. So if I provide you a simple linear equation of y is equal to mx, if I give what is the value of x, you are in a position to answer the question. You can tell, you can know the value of y, isn't it? Right? So again I will do the simple modification here, like y is equal to 1 by 2x plus 3 dx by dt, or in terms of only y and x, dy by dx. Now tell me, if my x is 1, what is the value of y? Do it. The same with the same energy you have to answer. Initially, if my x is 1, y is 0.5 for the linear equation case. For the differential equation case, if my x is 1, tell me why. Difficult or not? Tell me, difficult or not? Tell me, difficult or not? Tell me, difficult or not? Is it like, is it easy to identify the solutions of differential equation directly? No, right? Yes or no? Huh. No, it is very difficult. So that is the one difficulty with mathematics. Writing equation is difficult for a system in engineering. Even if you write the equations, solving equation is difficult. But if you solve the equation, what type of answer you will get? So exact answer, actual answers you are going to get. Remember, if I know x equal to If I know x equal to 2, what is the value of y? For the first equation, y is equal to x by 2. If I know x equal to 2, what is the value of y? 1. Andru 1 chepparu. Is there any correction in that value? Exactly 1. So you are going to get exact answers in case of mathematical systems, because the system is well defined with mathematics. Well defined, underline these words, because artificial intelligence or machine learning will not give the exact answer, they will going to give approximate answers. That's it. Your AI, nothing but if you don't have any system, if I ask something, you will give very simple. మీరు ఎగ్జామ్ బాగా రాశారు, ఎగ్జామ్ రాసుకొచ్చారు, బయటకు వచ్చారు. ఇఫ్ ఐ ఆస్క్ హౌ మెనీ మార్క్స్ యూ విల్ గోయింగ్ టు గెట్ అని చెప్తారు. With a plus or minus some error, you are going to give approximate answers because you are not well defined. So many complexities will be there in that system. You cannot expect a correct answer. Clear or not? So slowly I will explain all these things. Don't worry. So if you describe the engineering systems with mathematical equations, you are going to get actual or exact answers, exact solutions. Again, sir, it is very difficult to understand the equations. It is very difficult to understand the equations. We are not at an even intermediate stage. Go down. Not T at present state of engineering, not T minus 2 or T minus 3, state at intermediate. Take a state at T minus 8 or T minus 9. Okay? Yes or no? Maybe T minus 5 or T minus 4. Maybe at 6th class or 7th class. Shall I go? At that state. Okay? Now, let me remember, I started from the engineering and moving towards up to 6th class. First class, గుర్తు పెట్టుకోండి. So 6th class. I'm at 6th class. Okay? Right? Actually, there is an intermediate state of 8th class also. But shall I explain say 8th class also? Huh? Okay. Okay. Better. Instead of T minus 2, T minus 5, it is 8th class something there. Okay. General algebraic basis sum. Involved. Okay. So we have so many comedy videos also. No need to remember the things. So if you remember the things in engineering, it's a foolish thing. You have to explore the things. Engineering itself is how to build the system, new systems. Now my question, in different way. Cost of 2 pens, 1 pencil is 10 rupees. Write this. T minus 8, na? So we are at 8th class. The cost of 2 pens and 1 pencil is 2 pens and 1 pencil is 13 rupees. Okay. 1 pen and 1 pencil is 8 rupees. 8 rupees. Find the cost of 6 pens and 5 pencils. What are the unknowns in that problem? Pen cost and pencil cost. But what is the known thing? 2 pen costs, 1 pencil cost. Unknowns always we will represent with x, y, z, right? So let x will be the, that's how we will do the problems in 8th class. Let 1 pen cost is x, say x. 1 pencil cost is y. So 2 pen cost 2x plus 1 pencil cost y is equal to 13 rupees. 1 pen cost and 1 pencil cost is equal to 8 rupees. Now solve the two equations with two algebraic variables x and y. This is a problem related to 8th class. Will you agree or not? Yes. Then do it. What is the value of x? What is the value of y? X equal to 5, y equal to 3. Right. And remember, so the entire lecture, it is random, na? So I don't want to prepare the lectures even for classes, even for the like these expert lectures also. Directly I am going to dictate the examples, live examples. Mistakes just try to correct me. Now x is 5, y is, what will be the answer? 6 pen costs and 5 pencil costs. What is the answer? Right. So this is the problem of 8th class or 7th class. Yes or no? Now see where we started the things in engineering system, electrical system, mechanical system, or electronic system, whatever it may be, described by either algebraic equation or differential equation or set of algebraic equations or set of differential equations. Very difficult. Can't imagine. Even if you are comfortable with mathematics, you can solve the equations, but these equations after so many assumptions. We are assuming so many conditions here, like the previous condition. So neglect the frictional force, neglect the gravitational force, neglect the viscosity, concept of viscosity. Do all the assumptions and apply force Ff, then the equation is equal to F equal to ma. You got my point or not? After all these assumptions, we are going to get an equation, and if you solve that equation, we are going to get the answer. From that, instead of representing a system, take only equation. Again, complexities will remain same because we are going to solve the, and this is the one thing, derivative d by dt. So that is very dangerous thing, na, for engineering students. Very dangerous thing, right? Same thing, y is equal to 2x. If I say x is equal to 2, y equal to 2x, then tell me the value of y. 4, very easy. If I add the dx by dt term, if I ask the same question, what happens? Silence. Why? It is a villain. It is a villain in our life, na? Mathematics are so easy up to derivatives. If you have derivatives and integrations, why M1 is difficult compared to linear algebra, matrices? If you have differential equations, if you have integral, if you have multiple integrals, if you have solid geometry in mathematics, why it is difficult? If you have linear algebra, if you have matrices, if you have probability or statistics, they are very easy, right? But if you have differential equations or integrations, it is very difficult. That is well and so I am trying to, I want to give one more example. Civil systems, continuous time system. With respect to time, we have to define the system. Electrical systems, with respect to time, we have to define the system, right? Mechanical system, with respect to time, we have to define the system. What about computers? They are not continuous time mode systems. They are discrete time. They know yes or no, on and off. If there is no continuity, if there is no continuous inputs or continuous information, what will be the derivative? Derivative exists when the function is continuous. Am I correct or not? D by dt exists only when the left limit is equal to right limit. The left limit is equal to right limit means system is continuous. What about computer systems? Discrete, 0, 1, discontinuous. So there is no derivative. There is no ln. If you don't have ln in the life, your life will be very comfortable, right? కొత్త బంగారులో సినిమా చూసారా? So there is no problem at all. No, there is a famous dialogue. ఎవరినన్నా ప్రేమిస్తే వాళ్ళ బాబు ఒప్పేసుకుని పెళ్లి చేసేసి ఓ 10 ఎకరాల ఆస్తి ఇచ్చేస్తే ఎంత బాగుంటుంది అంటాడు. దట్ ఈస్ ద system where you don't have any complexities. But that never works na in the real time. Clear? Why the computer people, remaining branches, CSC, civil, mechanical, electric people said that computer science is very easy, isn't it? Because they don't have the villain in their life. Derivative is not there, na? Who are computer science students? Raise your hands. I want to see computer science. Ah, they don't have villain. But the problem is, no, it's like a July movie. If you know how the villain will think, then automatically you will be in a good position compared to villain, right? No, means if you know how to deal with the derivatives, your engineering is like 10 times easier than the computer science. Core engineering branches 10 times easier than the computer science. Thank God, because for the data analytics and machine learning, we don't need such type of concepts. So now, whether you are computer science related students or civil engineering students, forget about it, because we don't have that type of valence in the data analytics concepts as well as the machine learning concepts. Never, never and never. Okay. Okay. ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఎక్కడికి వచ్చి ఎక్కడికి 8th class na? Okay. Okay. Are you fine with this problem? Comfortable with that problem? Yes or no? Right. But I am not comfortable. I don't want to be at t minus 2, t minus 3, up to t minus 8, t minus 8, just t minus 13 or t minus 12. I'm at first class, the UKG or LKG, right? Now, tell me the truth table. Table 2, very comfortable for an engineering student. If any teacher, if ask second table for 100 marks to give O grade, very comfortable, right? Now tell me, 2, 1 sir, 2, 4, 6, and so on. Clear? How? Again mathematics. 2 into 1, 2 means add 2 1 times. 2 into 2 means 2 plus 2. Again addition. That addition will be there at t minus 8, t minus 13, t minus 2, t at t also. Addition will be there in mathematics. Conventionally, we will agree if you have addition or plus signal. So many calls. If you have plus symbol, immediately you realize that it is something related to mathematics. Okay, so అది నాకు కొండ గుర్తు అనుకుంటున్నాను, ఈజీగా ఐడెంటిఫై చేయడానికి, because I'm not in the state, I'm not at the state of t, I'm at state of t minus 13. So 2 into 1 is 2, 2 into 2 is 4, 2 into 3 is 6, and so on. Again it is mathematics, right? Okay, are you comfortable at that state, right? So now whatever the things I explained so far, they are related to mathematics. When I entered into school, so they start explaining regarding the numbers and additions and multiplications and tables, isn't it? Yes or no? In the first class, slowly problems, you are introduced into the variables concept and problems related to variables and numbers, and then slowly you will lift up to derivative part. If it is a variable, vary with respect to time, d by dt, rate of change, derivative concept will come into the picture. So like that you are going to increase the level of potential, so knowledge level from regular addition to up to derivatives, and thereby in engineering you are defining the systems with such type of equations. Finally, if you solve the equations, you are going to get the answers, right? Yes or no? To write such type of equations, now what are the assumptions? If you want to write an equation for a system, what are the assumptions? What are the assumptions? Okay, I will give the examples. What is the temperature of what is the temperature of, what is the not the temperature? I will give simple examples. I don't want to make you things as very complex, because ultimately after my lecture you should be in a position to answer, or you should be in a position to write your own code. If I provide a data to forecast or to predict something, so that's my goal. uh, this guy, what is your name? Sanjay. Tell me your 10th class marks. 10th class marks. I am taking ideal conditions, no ideal cases. 10th class marks. 520 out of 600, right? Very good. Hmm. What about your, what is your name? Kumar Naidu. Tell me your intermediate first year marks. Intermediate? Oh, intermediate all total. Because this is the system not have enough memory. No? Now tell me. 639. Okay. Out of 1000, right? Uh, Tell me your engineering first year CGPA. What is your name? Satya. Tell me. 7.2, right? Uh, Tell me your engineering final year CGPA. You are in second year. What is my question? Final year, right? So now the second year is T, present state, right? T minus 1, first year. T minus 2, intermediate. T minus 4, 10th class. What about that case? T plus 2, right? It is not casual. System is not casual. You cannot find out such type of, you cannot describe the equations for such type of systems. Clear? Answer is clear? So if I have a system, I can write the equations. I can find the solutions. But if you need a future information, means I have input x, I have output y, I have the previous output y minus 1 or y minus 2, etc. Previous input, something like that. If I ask output of y plus 1, what will be this? It is not casual. Casually you can answer t minus 1, t minus 2 information. If I ask t plus 2, ఏమైనా పిచ్చి అంటారు బాబు, ఎప్పుడో ఫైనల్ ఇయర్ సిజిపి నేను ఎలా చెప్పగలను? Am I correct or not? Right? System is not casual, non-casual, right? So therefore we cannot apply any mathematics there. No, see, classical difficulties are different. Solving differential equation is very difficult, but it is possible. It is possible. For us, it may be difficult, but it is possible. But getting information in future is difficult with classical systems. You cannot write equations for such type of systems. And one more thing. For example, let me give one more example. Let's see. For example, if I give one algebraic equation like y is equal to x plus 2, same, some modification in the equation, y is equal to x plus 2. x is 2, then what is the answer? Y. 2 plus 2 becomes 4, right? For example, if the system is not described by such type of equation, the system is not described by such type of equation, can I find out output by knowing the input? Can I find out output by knowing the input? Yes or no? If you have the equation, you can find out the output. If you don't have the equation, you cannot find out the output. So these are the some examples where you can understand it is not possible to write the equations every time, and it is not possible to get the solutions every time for majority of the systems, because in real time the majority of the systems have huge components, lot of components. Whatever the equations we are getting, that is after so many assumptions or approximations, by neglecting so much of data. But in the present scenario, the data is too large. You cannot write the equations simply. I will give you that information, don't worry. So from that point I will start this. So, and coming to the mathematics side, so if the system has discontinuities, you cannot write the equation, because if you have discontinuity, you cannot write the equation consisting of derivative, because derivative does not exist. If you have so many discontinuities, again difficulties, right? If you have noise in the system, if the system is random in nature, if the uh, information is random in nature, can you identify the things? Can you identify the things if the system is random in nature? Huh? Very simple example. సో ఈ అబ్బాయి ఉన్నాడు, ఈ అబ్బాయి నేను కొడితే ఏం చేస్తాడు? ఆమె టీచర్. సో ఏం చేస్తాడు? ఏమనడు. లోపల ఏమైనా తిట్టుకుంటే తిట్టుకోవచ్చు. పక్క అబ్బాయి కొడితే నేను కొట్టాను కదా అని తిరిగి కొడతాడు. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ ది డిటర్మినిస్టిక్. ఈ సిస్టమ్ అనేది డిటర్మినిస్టిక్. ఓ పిచ్చోడు ఉన్నాడు అనుకోండి, నేను కొడితే ఏం చేస్తాడు? కొట్టొచ్చు, కొట్టకపోవచ్చు. ప్రాబబిలిస్టిక్, ర్యాండమిస్టిక్. ఆడిని ఎవరిని మనం పట్టించుకోవాలి, అంతే కదా. సో సామెతలు కూడా అలాగే వస్తాయి, రైట్? సో if you have such type of systems, can you write the equations for random processes? You cannot write. Can you identify the answers? Cannot. Now what we have to do, you have to go for the alternative approach where you have to deal with the data. Now see, now look at this system. Look at the example at t minus 13. Again I will start at that point. I will take a system, again a system is common, but instead of taking it is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. What I am going to give, if I give input of 1, my output will be 2. If I give my input of 2, output will be 4. If I give input of 3, output will be 6. Like that, if I give my input of x, output will be y. Now what is my input data for the system? 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. What will be my output? 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. This is my input data, this is my output data, and my system will be trained with this data and tested with the remaining data called the artificial intelligence. Let me give you an example. మీరు అందరూ ఇంజనీరింగ్ రావడానికి ఏం చదువుకొచ్చారు? ఎక్కడి నుంచి మొదలెట్టారు? ఎల్కేజీ, యూకేజీ, ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్, 6 అలా వచ్చారు కదా. మీ ఇంటికాడ చాలా మంది పేరెంట్స్ లేదంటే మన చుట్టాలు, చుట్టుపక్కల వాళ్ళు చదువుకునే వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు. ఇఫ్ యు ఆస్క్ మల్టిప్లికేషన్స్ అండ్ టేబుల్స్ మనకంటే బాగా ఎక్కువగా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తారు. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? వై? దే డోంట్ నో ఎడిషన్స్, దే డోంట్ నో multiplications, etc., but they are in a position to answer whatever the difficult multiplications you provide to them. They will answer. Why? Their system, their intelligent system, artificial intelligence, their natural intelligence, okay, their intelligent system is trained in such a way that with a system of data, input and output, so that they will give the answers. So that is what the simple thing. So instead of doing the multiplications here for the black box system, don't know the addition, don't know the multiplication, we are training with the data of 1 2 3 4 so and so, and tested with the data of remaining. For this system we need the data of inputs and outputs, not the equations. In the previous case we know the output, we know the input, and we are going to describe the systems by equations. Now here we don't need system description or the components in the system. What we need, what are the different inputs, what are the different outputs. If you know that, automatically the system will be trained and able to answer what will be the output if you know some input. That is what the artificial intelligence. Simple words. In simple words. Where? From where? T minus T minus 13. I'm not taking it table, second table. Na? Just I am giving one, answer will be 2. If I give 2, 4, 6, 12, 14, 28. If I give 20, 40, that will be the testing. That is what simple machine learning algorithm. Now what is data for this system? What is data for this system? For this intelligent system, what is the data? What is the input? What is the output? That is what data. Input is 1 2 3 4 and so on. Output here is 2 4, right? Isn't it? Now okay, T minus 13. Now go to the T minus 8 problem. T minus 8 problem. See, again a black box system. I'm preparing the thing now, like the pen, pencil, number of pens will be 2, number of pencils will be 1, and the output will be 13. So this is what the information for one set. Another set, again pen, pencil, number of pens 1, pencils will be 1, and output will be 8. Again a black box system. If you give a data, what are the type of elements? So pen and pencil, and what will be the count, number of quantity. If you provide that, and along with that the total cost, then the system will be trained with the data. And if you ask, if I give 6 pens and 5 pencils, now what will be the cost? This is will be the validation. Same, we are not going to write the equations, and we are, but what is the problem here? If you give one set of data, two sets of data, the system may not train perfectly. So therefore you need to give, tell me, large data, not give limited data. If you provide to a system which is not described with mathematics, you cannot get the answers. The system is not well trained. So if you want to train the system in a better way, you need to give a large data. That is the only amendment we have to do here. So if you provide a large data, then automatically the system will be well trained. So that is what a large data means. Concept of data analytics, do something on data. So that is what data analytics will come into the picture. So same way, if you apply here also, if you know the x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, x4, y4, and so on. So if you have such type of large data, if you provide the data to the process, the process will be trained, and later if you give a new data of input, it will give you what will be the output for that data. Now see, if I take a artificial intelligence system, if I provide 1 year of data, maybe temperature data, it is able to find out what happens for tomorrow's information will be non-casual and not casual thing. So it will be able to train with 365 days data how the temperature is varying from day 1 to day 2, day 2 to day 3. It will be trained like that. and it is in the position to answer what will be the temperature in the 365 or 366 day data. So that type of systems are called the machine learning systems or artificial intelligence systems. So to effectively functioning or to effectively model that systems, you need a better data. Clear? Data. What is data? So that input and output information is data. So generally here if you see 1 2 3 4 in not any not processed data, just my input is 1, output is 2, my input is 2, output is 4, 1 2 3 4 etc. my inputs, 2 4 6 8 my outputs. So that is what input and output, raw data. And if I give that raw data to a system, that is what machine learning system, we are going to train the system, and then later we will going to test the system. If the system is okay, then we will use that system. So that is what the basic model of see this. Be able to see the slide? No? uh, Keep it there. This board we keep it there. ఇప్పటివరకు చెప్పింది అర్థమైందా? మనం ఏం నేర్చుకున్నాం అర్థమైందా? నౌ స్లోలీ వీఆర్ కమింగ్ టు ఇలా తిప్పేయండి. Start the what is data and what is data analytics and how they will be useful for the machine learning. Now see, the first one is we have to take the data 1 2 3 4, they are inputs, 2 4 6 8 they are outputs. So that matrix we are going to give to machine learning model, so that that machine learning model will be trained and tested with that data, and then if it is effectively trained and tested, then we can use. So this is what very simple basic model, but in that what is the data? So we will see whatever the explanation I provided, that reflects the definition or not. Data refers to raw facts. What is fact? For the two stable, input is 1, output should be 2 ones are 2, right? It is a fact or not? Yes or no? Right? 2 twos are 4. And then sometimes figures also. The data should be maybe figures. For example, in the second example of T minus 8 case, number of pens and pencils. Pen and pencil is also information, isn't it? Right? Next. See, refers to raw facts, figures, or information collected for reference or analysis. If I give 1 2 3 4 as inputs and 2 4 6 8 are outputs, that information, it is in terms of numericals. In T minus 8 examples, it is number of pens and number of pencils. Am I clear? So number of pens, number of pencils, and pen and pencil also, that information also required. Type of elements information also required. In some other cases, maybe figures information is also required. But not all the data may be useful. Not all the data may be useful. Some data may be useful and some data may not be useful. For example, let me take very simple example. So I want to take one simple example. So this is my system, Sanjay. Lagandop. Now I will give two inputs to you. You have to classify. So I am thinking that this system is an intelligent system. Don't see the backside. Na? Person, that person, that person, both are. నుంచోండి. See, నేను ఇద్దరిని లేపాను ఇక్కడ. ఇద్దరు బాయ్స్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, ఇద్దరు గర్ల్స్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, బాయ్ గర్ల్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు, గర్ల్ బాయ్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు. So you have to classify. This is my intelligent system classifier. This system should classify based on my inputs. No, Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. Eye is the most powerful sensor given by the God. Cannot replace it. Na? So that's why the system is called blank model. Without have eyes. If this system has eyes, the classification is very simple. So that is the thing, na? So this system don't have eyes. So black box. I am providing input information so that he has to classify. One person height is 160 centimeter, another person height is 150 centimeters. Now classify who is boy. Yes or no? Can you classify or not? By based on heights and heights. Yes or no? Yes, you can classify. Tell me. 150, 155 centimeters, 160 centimeters. 160 centimeters is boy. Okay. 150 also boy. So the classification accuracy is 50%. 50% only. Probability 1/2 కదా. నేను చెప్పిందంతా 1/2 అవ్వాలి, కానీ నేను తను ఏం చెప్పాడు, ఇద్దరు బాయ్ అని చెప్పాడు. సో బాయ్స్కి యాక్యురసీ ఎంత అవుతుంది? 2 కేసెస్ 50%, గర్ల్స్కి 0. సో యాక్యురసీ ఆఫ్ ది సిస్టమ్ ఇస్ టూ low. I don't want to accept such type of system AI models. Right? Yes or no? Okay. So this is not a good feature, good input. Height is not a good input, right? It is not a good information, good data to give to the system. Yes or no? Have you got my point or not? Clear? So this is my AI system. I am giving heights as data to classify whether the input is boy or girl. So that data is not useful. Now the second data I want to give, second feature. The weight is 70, 69. Tell me. 70 is, tell me. You brought 70 is boy. Boy. Again 50%. Again 50%. Right? Okay. So this numerical data may not sufficient to train my system. So therefore, what I want to do, I will give audio signal. Again a data. Audio is also data. Right? Because I want to make the system as more efficient. I want to train the system. So instead of giving the data, height data, weight data, now I am going to give audio data. Just give some audio. Boy or girl? Boy. Hi Sanjay. Girl. 100% efficiency. Now what is the best feature here? Audio. Now if I have information of heights, weights, audio, then that is data. What is the processor data? Height is not required, weight is not required. Yes, it's not clear. Picture is clear. So that is what the definition. Sit down. Yeah, మీ లైఫ్లో మర్చిపోరు, జీవితంలో మర్చిపోరు. No, so they are very simple things. So if someone asks me to explain the voltage, BEEE ల్యాబ్కి ఎవరికైనా తగిలేను నేను, తగలేదా? So if someone asks me to explain voltage, how you will explain? If I ask you, define voltage in simple words, just like మూవీ చూసారు, ఏది 3 Idiots, స్నేహితులు అనే మూవీ వచ్చింది కదా, చూసారు? The definition should be very simple to understand. So same way, in the same way, if I ask to explain voltage, what you will do? Immediately you have to Google it. You have to ask in ChatGPT. Very difficult. Let me give you the same example. One more guy. Naidu? Nayak. Okay. Oh. If I ask to jump from the table, from the chair, will you do it? Ideally. Can you do it? Yes. Okay. If I ask to jump from this table, yes. If I ask to jump from the top floor of the civil building, no. Sit down. Why? What is the difference? Same person, same moment, jumping. What is the difference? Height, potential energy, mgh, height. 10 meters, sorry, 1 meter, 2 meter, 20 meters. Fast to jump from 20 meters, what happens? Same voltage, potential difference. 5 volts, 10 volts, ఇంట్లో అయితే 230 volts, ఏ రైల్వే స్టేషన్లోనే ఎక్కితే 25,000 volts. మసే వెరీ సింపుల్. What is the difference there? How you are thinking? So that is the difference. Now see, if you take a data, the data may not have much meaning. So if my system need to classify whether the information is related to boy or girl, but if I provide height data, of course it may be possible, because majority cases if I give the height of girl may be slightly lesser than the height of boy, but it's not always true, na? Your system may not get efficient accuracy, may not get better accuracy. Weight also. But if you have audio, so that is the thing, na? So data may not have much meaning, but when it is processed, it becomes useful information for decision making. See, already we discussed numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers, objects, pen, pencils, text. అయ్యే కదా, పెన్ పెన్సిల్ సెకండ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వచ్చింది. సో నథింగ్ బట్ నేమ్స్, అడ్రసెస్, మెసేజెస్, టెక్స్ట్ డేటా, ఇమేజెస్, ఫొటోస్. I want to classify different type of plants. మీ రెగ్యులర్ అప్లికేషన్లు ఉన్నాయి కదా, గూగుల్ లెన్స్, దే ఆర్ AI systems. The system is trained by so much of data, huge data ఇచ్చి ఇలా ఇలా ఉంటే కనుక ఇది ఇది అని చెప్తారు. సో లైక్ దట్ it will be trained, and later we are going to test on different type of new images. And audio, already I given the same information. So the audio is the feature which is required for that classifier to classify the boy and girl with efficiency, with the accuracy of 100%. And then, so they are the different types of datas. So initially, what is data? Means raw facts. Height, raw fact. Weight, again fact. Voice, fact. So by giving that information to the classifier, the classifier is able to learn. So this is what, so I already shown the first slide, na? So this is what the raw data input given to the machine learning model, so that the machine learning model will be trained and tested. This is a one slide which give you entire complete information regarding the data analytics. See, the forms of data, numbers, text, images, audio, video, and then how the data will be useful in different applications. Everywhere the data is useful. If the data is huge, your mathematical systems can't work with that data. There you have to use the AI based systems, because I already mentioned, na? So if I take the body, apply some force F1, body, it gets displaced. If I take the frictional force, equations will be changed. If I take the gravitational force, equations will be changed. If I increase the inclination, angle inclination, surface angle inclination, equations will be changed. So like that. So many things. Right? So if you see a simple problem with such type of constraints or complexities, it is very difficult to get the equations. But if you take a huge system consisting of huge data, it is very difficult to get the answers. So therefore, you have to rely on the AI based systems. Completely, you have to depending on the AI based systems or machine learning based systems. For machine learning based systems, what is very important thing is data, because data is the key for the machine learning systems. If your data is good, your system will get good results. The same example, if I provide weight, if I provide height, no, there is ఒక సామెత ఉంది, కొండనాలకి మంది వేస్తే రోగం ఎక్కడ ఉందో మందు కూడా దానికే వేయాలి, అంతే కదా. సో సేమ్ వేనా. So this system requires that audio information. If you give weight information, if you give height information, what will be going to write M1 exam? You're carrying C language slips, but is used the same way. మీకు ఎందుకు నవ్వు వచ్చింది నాకు ఎందుకు నవ్వు వస్తుంది said see that's what I concluded earlier na data is the key for machine learning systems are AI. See that the modern engineering and AI is said data is the oil. So without data you cannot run any system, any AI system or any ML system. So data is the key. You want more example that is there. See that comedy video so that you came to know. Audio is not there. What about audio వినిపించట్లేదు కదా wait ఆడియో వస్తుందా వీడియోది ఆడియో రాదా oh mic is there so that hmm? It is not there. How they will see? Hmm? Huh? No. Not working. Not serious actually. Okay. Uh, they're not coming. Meanwhile, you can take that video also. Huh? You will come to know the importance of data and the process of data. Anjay. Okay. No issue. It's not coming. No. Wait. Wait. Silent. Ah. Wait. Carefully listen. ఏం చెప్పాడు పలానా గుడికి వెళ్ళి తీసుకురామన్నాడు ఓకే కంటిన్యూ సో యూ నెవర్ forget all these things even after 2 years or 3 years. Have working lunch? Do you have working lunch for this program? Do you have working lunch? Bhojanu. Wait. This is not required. And that this is the example for this system, na? Uh, wait. Whatever the information we required, so that we are going to receive the same information. Hmm. Now see, carefully listen. In 65 days. Underline that word. Information is wealth. Enough. Clear? Clear? What is the initial thing? Data. Got the information, not the information, got the data where he will get the food for 365 days. Right? It is processed and he mentioned in a structured manner, he provided in a structured manner so that and what day, at what time, what type of food he will get from which source. Complete information is available in that data. Clear? So that is what that. That system will run with that data. Isn't it? 365 days he will get the food from that data only. So the data is the key material to run the AI systems. Without data, there is no AI. So if you work on the data, so then automatically you can predict. So I want to predict, so let us see some more examples. So now I want to predict his BTech CGPA. I don't know nothing regarding this system. How I can predict? If I know his internal marks, his intermediate marks, 10th class marks, along with that the characteristics of the system, then I can predict the CGPA may achieved by this candidate in future. Is it clear or not? So see that because data drives decisions, predictions, and then intelligence. Without data, we cannot do anything. So the data is the key point for the machine learning. So if you want to do anything with machine learning, you have to be careful with data. You have to take the data collectively and then you have to process the data. So that is one thing regarding the data, how you can understand the data, how you can process the data, how you can convert the data into knowledge. Information is well, yes. Another story is then knowledge is also wealth. Knowledge is also wealth. Information is nothing but knowledge. See, the data versus information versus knowledge. In the previous slide, actually, I mentioned what is data, what is information, and then what is knowledge. See, this one. Data is nothing but raw facts. Information is processed data. Knowledge using information to make decisions. So why the systems are intelligent means if you see, let me give you one story. The intelligence side. Why that knowledge is required? Maybe before machine learning topic, I will quote that example and then video also. At present, we don't require. So look at that slide. So initially, we have the raw information, the different kind of information collected at the source side. For example, if I want to collect the temperature, so that will be collected with the help of some sensor. So sensors will be there, so to record the data. So we will collect the data initially. So they are called the raw facts. And after that, for example, if you take direct raw data, it may not be useful. If you want to do some analysis, first you have to process the data. For example, you are taking 1 week data and previous week data also if you have. So if you compare the temperatures, how you can compare? Can you compare day by day? You cannot compare. Now what you have to do? You have to take the average of 7 days temperature for this week and average of 7 days temperature for the last week, because you need that average value of temperature. So that is nothing but information. Now instead of taking the individual samples, if you process the data to find out the average value or the mean value of the temperature of a week, then you can compare what happens for this week and the last week. So this week is hotter than the last week, means that's how we are giving that information. Because see, your AI based systems not depend directly on the numerical values, because we are telling that it is intelligent. Again, I will give the very best example. మీరు ఎగ్జామ్ రాశారు అనుకోండి, the pass mark is 35. Pass mark is 35. So the rule is, if you get greater than or equal to 35, then pass. Otherwise, fail. Right? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు ఎగ్జామ్ రాశారు 34 వచ్చింది, మీరు ఏమనుకుంటారు? ఇప్పుడు ఎగ్జామినర్ ఏం చేస్తాడు? పాస్ చేస్తాడా, ఫెయిల్ చేస్తాడా? ఎందుకు పాస్ చేస్తాడు? దగ్గరగా ఉన్నారు, రైట్? ఓ మార్క్ ఎక్కడో యాడ్ చేసి పాస్ చేస్తారు. అందరూ అది ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అయ్యారా? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? వై? ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. అదే మీరు ఒక సిస్టమ్ బేస్ మీద కరెక్షన్ చేశారనుకోండి, 34 నిర్దాక్షిణ్యంగా ఫెయిల్. వై? ఇట్ ఈస్ రూల్ బేస్డ్. 35 ఆర్ గ్రేటర్ దెన్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ టు 35, దెన్ give the class pass, otherwise fail. If else statement, if marks greater than or equal to 35, category is pass, else fail. If else statement, na? So fixed programming language. Now if you are intelligent, if the machine is intelligent, if the system is intelligent, if your marks is 34, then automatically the person who is intelligent add 1 mark and ascend pass grade, right? Yes or no? ఒకవేళ వాడు 34 వచ్చి ఫెయిల్ చేశారు అనుకోండి, మీరు ఏమంటారు? వీడి బుద్ధి జ్ఞానం ఉందా? ఫస్ట్ మాట, బుద్ధి జ్ఞానం ఉందా? 34 వచ్చిందే కదా, ఓ మార్క్ యాడ్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? కామన్ సెన్స్ లేదు. కామన్ సెన్స్, ఇంటెలిజెన్స్, isn't it? So they are the words we are using, na? Regular mode. అదే కరెక్ట్ అన్నట్టు. అరే ఫస్ట్ వర్డ్ అదే వస్తుంది కదా మీకు. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? 35 పాస్, 34లో ఆపేసాడు, మీకు 34.5లో ఆపేసాడు, ఏమంటారు? తిట్టడం పక్కనట్టండి. అది హ్యూమన్ నేచర్. దాని ముందు ఏమంటారు ముందు? సెన్స్ లేదు ఆడికి. ఇయే మాటలొస్తాయి మనకు. బికాస్ 35, 34 దే ఆర్ వెరీ నియర్. నౌ టెల్ మీ. You now see the categories. In your class, in your class, 20 members are there. Okay? 19 members got 90 plus marks. 90 plus, you got 34. Then tell me. పాస్ చేయాలా వద్దా? ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? నో. 90 వాళ్ళందరూ ఒకే కేటగిరీ, మీరు ఒకే కేటగిరీలోకి ఎలా గెంటుతో ఒక మార్క్. దర్ ఇస్ హ్యూజ్ డిఫరెన్స్. ఇస్టెట్ అందరికి 36, మీ ఒక్కొక్కరికి 34. ఓకే, 1 ప్లస్ మార్క్స్ విల్ ఎంటర్ ఇంటూ దే. ఫెయిల్ అయిన వాళ్ళందరూ సున్నాలో మీ ఒక్కరే 34 యాడ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఫెయిల్ అయిన వాళ్ళు 10 మంది 34లే. డోంట్ డూ బికాస్ ఎవ్రీబడి విల్ గెట్ ఇట్. సో దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ యువర్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ దేర్, యువర్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ విల్ ప్లే ద రోల్. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? సో 20 పీపుల్ దగ్గర డిఫరెంట్ కేసెస్ చెప్తాను. డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ ఎక్కడ? మీకు 90 వస్తే డెసిషన్ మేకింగ్ ఏముంది? ఫైనల్ సి నాలెడ్జ్. ఆర్ ప్రీవియస్ స్లైడ్, లుక్ ఎట్ ద ప్రీవియస్ స్లైడ్ యాక్చువల్లీ. This one, knowledge, using information to make decision. So decision making based on the knowledge. So data is nothing but marks. Information is nothing but processor data. Now see how simple the example. So 20 members marks will be data. What is the processor data? 35 is a pass mark. How many of the students are very far away from the 35, like 90 plus or 80 plus? How many students are very marks are very low compared to 35, like 0, 10, 5? And how many students are nearer to 35? So this is what the processing. If all the students except one candidate got 90 plus, but one candidate got 30, no one is interested to give 5 marks addition to that candidate to enter that particular person from the fail grade to pass grade. Yes or no? So that is what the intelligent fellow will do. Intelligent teacher will do. Right? Human being. Machine learning is not a new thing. Giving our intelligence to program. Isn't it? The program will behave like a human being. Program will behave like a animal. Program will behave like a some intelligent creature. That's it. That is what intelligence. I will give you that example also. Clear? Yes or no? So initially marks will be data, processed data, nothing but how many marks will be at that decision making level, means at 35, how many marks more than 35, how many marks below 35, and what is that range. That is the reason why the status, this is what algebra, another one is statistics also required for machine learning and artificial intelligence. Am I correct or not? Why statistics? So mean data, standard deviation, variance, where you will get all these terms. Statistics. Statistics. That is the reason why the linear algebra, statistics, probability, they are the fundamental prerequisite courses to understand the machine learning and artificial intelligence. Clear or not? You don't need differentiation, etc., etc. Now that is what the processor data. Now after processing data, based on how many candidates are nearer to 35 and how many candidates are very far away from the 35, more than 35, and how many candidates are below 35, we are nearer to 0. So based on the categories, we have to take the decision whether we have to give some additional marks to the candidates which are in the zone of 35 plus or minus 2 or 3. That's it. So that is what the decision making, that is what the knowledge. Now we will take such type of systems. If you see Google student performance analysis using artificial neural networks, student performance using support vector machine, they are the AI techniques. And you are going to take the entire data, student data, and you can do the analysis, and you can apply the AI system, and you can predict something from the input. Now already we discussed the types of data also. Once if you have data and then processed, that is processed data is called the information underline. Data is nothing but collected data, raw data, available available information of different from the different sources. Actual information is processed data, and that processed data collectively used to take the decision is called the knowledge. And types of data, we have tables consisting of different labels, output, input, and input. There are so many elements. So if you have such type of information, that is called the structured data. What is structured data means? Let us take student data: name of the student, registered number, marks in first subject, marks in second subject, marks in third subject. Like that, if you have specific labels and corresponding information and corresponding grade as output, then that type of data is called the structured data. Now what is about unstructured data? Like videos, images, and then emails, where you have to do some additional mechanism to process the data to structured. So generally we need the structured data for majority of the algorithms. And sources, no, if I want to measure the temperature, what I have to do? Very simple thing. మీరు మీ ఇంటికాడ బైక్ తీసుకుని మొదలెట్టారనుకోండి, నేను ఇక్కడికి వచ్చిన తర్వాత ప్రతి 5 నిమిషాలకే ఎంతెంత స్పీడ్లో వచ్చారో అని అడిగాను అనుకోండి, మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? ప్రతి 5 minutesకి యూ విల్ సీ ది స్పీడోమీటర్ in your bike, na? So and you will record the value. So that is nothing but sensor. So that sensor will give the information of speed, and that will be recorded. So that is what the data, na? So sensors, mobile apps, records, everything. So they are the sources of data. What it is? Now see, data processing. Now with data, what we will do? Only if you have data, what we will do? So see, recall the previous example. My system is there, my data is there. Which information is useful, which information is not useful, which information is useful for what kind of classification or what kind of prediction. So that entire thing we can get it from the data process. So these are the important concepts in the data. So once if you have the data, you should know the useful information or useful data, that is what the information, and based on the information you have to make the decisions. So the information you have to convert into your decisions. So that is what the knowledge, and how you can collect the data, and how you can process the data, and how the data will be useful in the real life case studies. We will see one by one. How again, one more. So we have data, right? We have data now. We know the data is processed and taken useful information. Now what we will do with the useful information? Opening the it is అవట్లేదా? Let's make it. Hmm? Hmm. Wait. Hmm. So see the consequence. what is the type of data, why the data, how to handle the data. So see. Hmm? Ultimately, what happens when you do why the data, what the data, how the data, may lead to a good thing, a good decision, or it may lead to bad decision. What is that? The noise in the data. Remove the noise. There are so many up and downs. There are so many computations you have to do on the data. You have to take the mean of a data. You have to take a average of a data. Sorry, standard deviation of a specific metric. Up and downs. Na? So many up and downs you have to do. Do analyze the data carefully. Na? If you don't analyze the data, what happens? That's it. That's it. So carefully you have to analyze the data. Now remember, so for my system, if I provide the highest information, if you do such type of thing, so what type of information is required by the system? So you have to be careful while doing the analysis on the data. And there's so many critical concepts involved with the data. So one by one I will explain. Huh. See, the definition is now according to the video. Look at the definition. What is data analytics? Now I have data, right? I have data, information I have, a data processed, information I have. Now see, process of collecting, cleaning, transforming, and analyzing data is called the data analytics. And that complete information you should provide to your machine learning system. If you provide a raw data to machine learning system, the performance attributes may not attractive. The system may not get better accuracy. If I provide a raw data or not useful data or not useful features as inputs. So therefore, if I do, if I take raw data, if I remove the noise, if I improve the quality, reduce the errors, something, if I do the analysis, then whatever the algorithm I will use, so that algorithm will get a better accuracy to classify the data, to classify the objects, or to detect something, to detect anomalies in the data, or whatever it may be. Clear? Now, compare the basical system and this system. In the first slide, I provided a system where you are going to give the raw data to the machine learning model. So for the same system, I have a process where if I give the input, I am going to get output, and that input is given, output is given to, that raw data is given to machine learning model, so that machine learning model will, this intelligent model will behave like a human being and take the good decisions. So that's what our conclusion. But now, instead of taking the raw data directly, so what changes we made here? So we are taking the raw data from the sensors directly, and then we process the data, cleaning the data. After collecting, we clean the data, unnecessary noise, unnecessary information we removed, quality of the data we enhanced. Any data is not fit for the things, such type of outliers are also removed, and we analyze the data. If means, for example, we are taking the student marks, we want to analyze the performance, so we want to find out the merits. See, we want to do some designer, we want to design some intelligent algorithm based on the student marks. For example, in the data, I have the internal assessment marks, the external assessment marks, as well as the previous semester grades, 10th marks, etc., etc. Along with that, I have assignment marks also. For our college, shall I take the assignment marks? Everybody will write the assignment. No? It is not required, because everybody will get 5 marks. So like that, so such type of data. And assessment is purely internal. And if you కొన్ని బిస్కెట్స్ చేస్తే ఈజీగా గ్రేడ్లు వచ్చేసినాయి అనుకోండి, షాల్ ఐ కన్సిడర్ సచ్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ మార్క్స్? No. So such type of anomalies we have to remove, such type of outliers we have to remove. And then pattern. What is pattern? For example, 10th class 10 CGPA, intermediate 9 CGPA, first year 8.5, second year 8.3, third year 8.4, then there will be a consistency, right? So such type of patterns are different. 10th class 6 CGPA, intermediate 10 9 sorry 800 marks, 700 marks. Engineering first year 5 backlogs. Engineering second year, first year second semester 3 backlogs. Engineering second year first year 10 CGPA. Again engineering second year second 5 backlogs. Now tell me what happened in the 2-1? Something anomaly. Na? The case is something anomaly, isn't it? Investigation is required. See that analysis. Look at that words actually. And we have to take the data, collect the data, clean the data, transform the data, and then analyze the data. That analyzed data you should give to machine learning model, so that the model will trained effectively, and when we test the model, we may get better accuracy. We may get a better performance attributes from the data, from the machine learning model. So we will take such type of examples in the afternoon session. We will see one data where noise will be there in the data, and then we will remove that noise. After that, we will see the patterns, why the patterns are required. For example, if you want, see, I quote one real-time example. For example, you want to invest the huge amount of money in stock market. How you invest? If you have 10 lakhs in your bank account, do you want to invest directly without knowing? Huh? Then what do you have to do? You have to select the, so much of raw data is there. You have to select the different stocks. You have to analyze the pattern, how the stock value increased and decreased. What are the causes to get the reduction in the stock value? What are the reasons to take the rise? So you have to collectively get all the information, and you have to process the information. You have to analyze the patterns completely. If you analyze the patterns completely, if you know how the how the value is increasing and then decreasing over a period, and what are the factors behind to for those movements. So if you know all these things, then you can design a better, or you can take a better decision. Ultimately machine learning model give you the decisions. On what way it will give you the decisions? Based on that information. So that information is collecting, cleaning, analyzing data. Now see, that is the transformation from the first slide to, what is the slide number? I don't know. What is the slide number here? Ah, we are at only 8. Right. So the initially the raw data, now the raw data is processed and analyzed, and that is what the data analytics. Take the data, process the data, remove the noise, identify the breaks, understand the data, analyze something to get additional features from the data, and those features you should give to machine learning model. So that is what the data analytics. Now see what type of analytics we have. So the first one, descriptive analytics. We already mentioned. Na? So what is descriptive analytics? Now we have the data. So the data is nothing but the information. So that information says that sales increased by 20% last month. What happens? How you can conclude that statement? How you bring that statement? What what you need to get that statement, to write that statement? After looking the data, you have to write the statement of sales increased by 20%. How you can write that statement? The previous month data and present month data, find out the what total number of sales in the present month and then previous month, and take the percentage of change. So that will be what the descriptive analytics, isn't it? So now once if you have the data is so day 1 how many sales, day 2 how many sales, day 3 how many, and day 30, similarly day 60. Now we have 2 months data. So combine the entire sales by the first last month, and the combine the entire sales by the present month, and now take the monthly average and compare. So that monthly average will give you a better understanding, na? So whether the sales increased or decreased. So over a month, one day may increase, one day may decrease, one day may increase, one day may decrease. So you cannot compare day 1 to day 2, day 2 to day 3, day 2 to day 4. So therefore you need a descriptive uh, data for the same information. So therefore that information is again converted into average based. Originally we have the day wise data. Now additional feature is added to the data, that is what descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics means the additional, we will do some computations on the data, and we will provide what happens for the sales and what will be the if you see monthly how the sales is increased or decreased, and what are the factors. Next one, see diagnostic is nothing but why. So that's what I mentioned in the video, na? Why, what, how. So if you identify, if you do some analysis on the data and then how it is increased, how it is decreased, if you identify, you have to know the reason. Sales increased due to a new marketing campaign. Maybe a reason. Because ultimately, if you have such type of large information, then only you can train the models in an effective manner. So therefore, after data, you have to do something on the data. Cannot directly bring the decisions. You cannot directly write the decisions. You have to do something on the data before making the decisions. So that is what the diagnostic analytics. And the third one is predictive analytics. Now I know what is the total sale to in the present month, previous month, and 2 months back, 3 months back. If I know that information, if I predict or if I forecast the future, what will be the future, how the sales will be likely to rise in the next month, then accordingly I can plan. If I know that information, generally I may increase my production, isn't it? So for example, let us see from last 10 months our sales are increasing. So based on the analysis, we come to know that definitely in the next month also our sales will be increased. So therefore, if the sales increases, automatically we have to increase the production. If you reduce the production, what happens? You will not get the profit. So ultimately your objective is getting maximum profit. If you want to get a maximum profit, you have to sell the maximum number of amount. So therefore you have to get the profit from the sales. అలా అని మీరు మాక్సిమం ఎంత మీ దగ్గర అమౌంట్ ఉందో అంత మనీ మీరు ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసేసారనుకోండి, so your amount will be locked in terms of material. So therefore again you will get loss. So it is a combined thing, na? So how you can maximize your profit? It is not putting entire your money your investment for the products. It is not putting your entire money for the uh, marketing purpose. You have to organize in such a way that optimally you have to allocate the money so that your objective is to enhance or increase the profit, improve, getting the maximum profit. There are so many constraints. That is what the predictive analysis. What will happen? Now look at that. What happened and what will happen and why? What, why? Next, what should we do? Otherwise, how to do? What would you? So offer discounts and promotions to boost sales. For example, in the next month, sales may reduced. Then what do you have to do? You have to add some discounts so that profit may be reduced, but the number of sales may increase. So this is what you can do after knowing the data. So once if you know the data, you have to do the descriptive analytics, means take the data, combinedly represent the data with some mathematics. Take the average values, take the standard deviations, and then take the improvements, root mean square errors. So like that, do something on the data and identify the causes for those things, why the sales increases, why the profit reduced, why the investment increased. So you have to identify the causes. Causes generally maybe several reasons. No? You have to identify the causes. That is what diagnostic. And then you have to estimate what happens for the next. That is what planning. See, the first descriptive analysis is based on your data, past data. Diagnostic analytics is identifying the causes for the past data, whereas predictive analytics is nothing but finding the future trends. To reach the future trends, you have to do the prescriptive analytics only based on the data. Whatever the data I have with me, based on that I have to do the cumulative descriptions and then identify the causes for that, and based on that suggest what happens for the next coming. So and then what we have to do for such type of profits. So data collected, data processed, data analyzed, that is the data analytics. After data analytics you can take decision. Because we can take decision because we are intelligent, right? We are intelligent, we can take the decisions by looking at one data, two data. If the data is very huge, very simple. I will give, and see, 0 to 10 numbers, and I will ask to find which is less, which is a small number. Can you do it or not? Yes or no? Yes. 20 numbers? Yes. 2000 numbers? Yes. 2 power 2 power 2000? 2 power 2000 numbers? Is it possible or not? Possible, but difficult. Isn't it? Is it possible but difficult? It is for identifying one number. Identify such type of minimum numbers in 10 positions. It's 2 power 2000 numbers of 10 sets. Identify the minimum values in 10 positions. 10. Okay. 2 power 2000 numbers in 2 power 2000 sets. Then means what happens? It is a initially it is a small amount of data. 10 numbers you can identify. 20 numbers you can identify. As a human beings you can identify. But ultimately, if it is a large data, then what do you have to do? We have to design a AI system where it will take large data, because that system is trained with the large data, and then it will be tested effectively. That modification I am going to say. Now see, in between data analytics decision we have to make, that decision is not by human being, not by AI system, a machine learning system. Yeah. So data I have initially I collected the data, I processed the data, means from the data I collected the only useful information. I converted the data into useful information, and that information, based on that information, means based on that information, I do some analytics, descriptive analytics, diagnostics. So all combinedly, I provided for making a decision. So the combined metrics are useful to provide the decision. Now instead of taking the decision by human beings, if I train a AI system with that data and data analytics metrics, then that AI system will behave better than human. That is the thing. See, uh, examples. Shall I stop now? Shall I continue? Continue. Okay. How much the time? And 11:30. No break, Miku. Hey, it is very difficult. Okay, 5 minutes break. This one. Just relax. Sound. I will start. Now see, data analytics to decision, we have to introduce AI systems, na? Machine learning systems. Up to data analytics, we will see the numerical example so that you will understand in a better way. Just take a 5 minutes break. I will continue. Water లేదా ఏంటారండి ఏం కనుక్కో ఎందుకు ఎందుకు అంటున్నా ఓకే I will give four examples. One is electrical, another one is mechanical, third one is civil, and the fourth one is a computer science. How we are taking and how we collect the data. Generally, that data is not may not useful directly. So therefore, you have to process the data. After that, you have to do some analytics. You have to do some analysis on the data before taking the decision. So how you will perform these four tasks with four domain problems I will discuss later. For that decision making, how we will replace the uh, direct decisions by intelligent algorithm, so we will discuss. No. So, the first example, I think you may aware of this. So the electrical example. See the electrical example. Here, see the four steps: collect the data, process the data, analyze the data, and take the decision. So that's what we discussed so far. Na? So we have to collect the data, and the data may not be useful directly. So therefore, you have to process the data. So after processing the data, you have to do some analytics on the data. You have to do some operations on the data, and based on the information getting from the data analytics, you have to make a decision. So that's what we have to do for each category. Now, for in the electrical, now the step 1C, the data collection. Generally, uh, if you recall your BEEE experiments, you can measure the voltage and current by ammeter and voltmeter. Am I correct or not? Yes or no? Right? In electrical engineering labs, we will do the experiments. If I want to measure the voltage, so I have to keep the voltmeter. If I want to measure the current, I have to keep the ammeter. See, data collection, raw data. What is the raw data? Voltage and voltage and current for every hour. So continuously we can take the information, but we have to keep some limit, some period. So therefore, for every 1 hour, I am going to record the information. If I ask to record the speed of your bike from your home to college, then how you will record the information? You cannot record the information completely. You have to take the interval based information. You have to take the zero at your home, and then rise your bike, start your bike. After 5 minutes, again identify the record the speed, and after 10 minutes again record the speed. So like that, you have to make note down the values of speeds at different intervals. Similarly, here also we will do the same. So at 9 a.m. we have to identify the what is the value of voltage and what is the value of current, and then 10 a.m. again 11 and then 12 and then 1. Clear? Is it clear or not? So that is what recorded information. How we are getting that means we have at our house, or maybe at laboratory, we connected one voltmeter, one ammeter. Voltmeter reading gives this value, voltage information, and ammeter gives this value, current information. And I tabulated it like your experiment. So that is what data collection. Clear? Right? So data collection is power. And generally, the voltage value, current value may not be useful. They are raw data. So what generally, why see in generally our we are using the electrical energy or electrical power. Am I correct or not? We are using electrical energy or electrical power. So but the information is given in terms of voltage and current. So therefore, it should be converted either into energy or power, so that that information is have some meaningful value. Instead of seeing the voltage and current, I cannot do anything. But if I convert that voltage and current in terms of power or energy, it will be useful for me. So therefore, I have to process the data. How I will process the data? See, processing, calculating the power, which is nothing but voltage into current. If I need energy, then what I have to do? Power is equal to energy by time, energy is equal to power into time. I have to take that interval time, 1 hour, nothing but I have to multiply with 1, so that it becomes watt hour. if I need energy. Current scenario, taking only power. So initially I collected the data of voltage and current of an electrical equipment. So that is what the first step, collected data, and the data should be processed. The initial voltage and current may not be useful for me because I am consuming electrical power. Our device is consuming electrical power, and this device consuming electrical power and giving uh, mechanical power as a output, and that device converting taking electrical power as input and giving heat energy or maybe light energy as output. So energy or power, so that is the useful information. If I have voltage and current, may not be useful because I am consuming power, I have to pay for the power, isn't it? So we are paying for electrical power or electric energy, not the electrical voltage and current. So therefore that is not useful data. So therefore that data should be converted or processed into useful data. That is what power. The conventional definition for power is equal to V into I, voltage into current. This is what domain knowledge. Na? So if you want to do that, you need domain knowledge. Without domain knowledge, we cannot do. We need domain knowledge. So P is equal to V into I ఎలా వచ్చిందో అదో మాయ. No, see, you are thinking that every equation is one new thing, but every equation is coming from its previous equation. Do you know mechanical power? P is equal to, tell me, mechanical power P is equal to, what is that? Mechanical power P is equal to energy by time. Energy is equal to work into displacement by time, or F into, sorry, ante, ante, work into displacement and energy, work into displacement by time, or force into displacement by time, right? Force into displacement by time అంటే ఏంటి? Velocity. So force, driving force, electrons move చేసే force ఏంటి? Voltage V into, move అయితే, charge move అయితే ఏమంటాం? Current V into I. P equal to V into I. Conventional. You are looking at, see. So P equal to V into I. That is the equation. I know the value of V, I know the value of I. What you have to do? You have to convert that into useful information. That is P. So for every month, for every time interval, you know the V value, you know the I value, multiply. Do something on the mathematics, no? Do mathematics. P equal to V into I. So that will give you the power. See the values. Am I correct or not? See the values. Check the values. నేను చెక్ చేయలేదు, మీరు చెక్ చేయండి. 230 into 5. Is it correct or not? 1000 and then 50, 150. Okay. Next, 228 into 5.5. 225 into 6.2. 220 into 7. 218 into 7.5. What happens actually? Tell me. Look at the initially, before going to see this, see the raw data only. It's a useful information. This engineering application చెప్తున్నాను. I may take a very simple example by looking at your grades also, we can do the same. The CGPS you can take, or sales information we can take. But we are engineering graduates, so we have to understand the engineering concepts. Ultimately, we have to apply the machine learning data analytics on engineering data sets. That is the reason. We see the first table and observe the table, uh, discuss it. Speak few words regarding the table one. Speak regarding a few sentences regarding table one. Speak few sentences regarding table one. టేబుల్ వన్ గురించి 4 మాటలు మాట్లాడండి అన్నాను. మాట్లాడండి 4 మాటలు, ఎవరో ఒకళ్ళు. నేను లేపనా? మీరు మాట్లాడతారు. నన్ను చివర నువ్వు మాట్లాడు, నన్ను పర్లేదు. ఇట్స్ క్యాజువల్ థింగ్. 4 మాటలు మాట్లాడి ఏముంది నీకు టేబుల్‌లో? వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్? టైమ్ ఉంది. అంటే ఏ టైంకి రికార్డ్ చేసాము. నెక్స్ట్ వోల్టేజ్ ఉంది. కరెంట్ ఉంది. ఇంకేముంది? ఎన్ని వాల్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి? అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ ఎన్నున్నాయి? 5 అబ్జర్వేషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇంకేం మాట్లాడగలం? ఇంకా మాట్లాడాలి. అవి చూడగానే మాట్లాడేది. అంటే చూసిన తర్వాత ఇంకొంచెం అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే మాట్లాడగలిగేవి చెప్పాలి. వోల్టేజ్ ఏమవుతుందో చూడండి. తగ్గుతా ఉంటే కరెంట్ ఏమవుతుంది? పెరుగుతా ఉంది. ఇలాంటివి మాట్లాడాలి. అవి యూజ్‌ఫుల్. ఇట్. అనాలిసిస్ అంటే ఏంటి? వి హావ్ టు వి హావ్ రా డేటా. వి హావ్ టు గెట్ ద యూజ్‌ఫుల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. హౌ యూ విల్ గెట్ ద యూజ్‌ఫుల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్? బై లుకింగ్ ఎట్ ద డేటా. కూర్చో. అలాంటి మాటలు మాట్లాడాలి. సో, వోల్టేజ్ ఈజ్ డిక్రీజింగ్ అండ్ కరెంట్ ఈజ్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్. ఎప్పుడు వోల్టేజ్ డిక్రీజ్ అయ్యి కరెంట్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది? టెల్ మీ. వెరీ సింపుల్. మీ ఇంట్లో 10 బల్బులు ఉన్నాయి. ఓ బల్బ్ వేసారు. సీ ద కరెంట్. ఏ ఓవర్‌లోడ్ సర్క్యూట్ బ్రేకర్ చేశారు మీరందరూ. ఆ ఒక బల్బ్ వేస్తే కరెంట్ ఎంతొచ్చింది? 0.6 యాంపియర్స్ ఎంతో వస్తుంది. రెండో బల్బ్ వేస్తే 1.2 ఎంతో వస్తుంది. మూడో బల్బ్ వేస్తే కరెంట్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుందంటే ఏం యాడ్ చేస్తున్నట్టు మీరు? ఆ! లోడ్స్ ఆన్ చేస్తున్నట్టు. అంతే కదా! సో, లోడ్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ అంటే కరెంట్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్. లోడ్ మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే కరెంట్ మాట. అంటే ఏమవుతుంది ఇక్కడ? కరెంట్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతా ఉంటే ఏమైనట్టు? లోడ్. అందుకనే కరస్పాండింగ్ పవర్ టేకెన్ బై ది ఎలిమెంట్స్ చూడండి. అంతే కదా! నంబర్ ఆఫ్ పవర్ కన్జ్యూమ్డ్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఏమవుతుంది? బోలెడు నేర్చేసుకోవచ్చు నాన్న. ఎనీ ఇంజినీరింగ్. ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ ఫ్రమ్ ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజినీరింగ్, యూ కెన్ learn all the topics related to mechanical, civil, computer science. If you are computer science, you can learn electrical mechanics. Look, it's like మీకు ఎలా అంటే at present scenario, a single engineering discipline knowledge is not enough to get a good placement or good opportunities. You should be in multidisciplinary. సో పవర్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. నా పవర్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది కానీ చూడండి. ఓకే. సో that I can conclude. So current increasing. So current increasing means loads increasing. Loads increasing means what happens? Power increasing. Power consumed by the load will increase automatically. అంతే కదా! సైకిల్ మీద నేను వెళ్తున్నాను. సడన్‌గా మా ఫ్రెండ్ వచ్చి వెనకాల కూర్చున్నాడు. ఏమవుతుంది? లోడ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది. ఇప్పుడు నేనేం చేయాలి? ఇంకొంచెం బలంగా తొక్కాలి. అంటే ఏం చేయాలి? ఎనర్జీ పెరిగింది. తీసుకునే ఎనర్జీ పెరిగింది. అంతే కదా! కన్జ్యూమ్ చేసుకునే ఎనర్జీ పెరిగింది. ఇంకోడొచ్చి ఇంకో వెనకాల ఎక్కాడు. ఏమవుతుంది? ఇంకొంచెం బలంగా ఇక్కడ డబల్ ఉన్నోడొచ్చి మళ్ళా మా ముగ్గురు మీద ఎక్కాడనుకోండి. ఏమవుతుంది? బ్రేక్. ఔట్. రైట్. పవర్ లోడ్. ఆ! పవర్ లోడ్. రైట్. ఎళ్తున్నాను. నేనొక్కడినే నీట్‌గా ఎళ్తున్నాను. సడెన్‌గా పెద్ద చెట్టొచ్చి మీద పడిందనుకోండి. ఔట్. షార్ట్ సర్క్యూట్. దట్స్ ఇట్. ఆ! నాన్న వోల్టేజ్ డిక్రీజ్డ్, కరెంట్ ఇంక్రీజ్డ్, లోడ్ ఇంక్రీజ్డ్, power increased. Additionally, we cannot do anything with voltage and current, so therefore we have to process because we are consuming electrical power or energy. So therefore, we have to convert that into electrical power. So I analyzed the data and I processed the data to get the power information. So second stage, collected the data from the sensors, voltmeter and current meter sensors, measuring devices is called the sensors, and converted the collected data into powers, nothing but processed. So what I have to do? What I have to do? అలా ఎలా చెప్పేస్తారు? First year first semester CGPA is 7. First year second semester CGPA is 6.9. సరిగ్గా చదవడం రోజు రోజుకి దిగజారిపోతుందని చెప్పేస్తావా నాన్న? It's possible or not? If you do like that, You're stupid. Because 7, 6.9, you have to see the difficulties. Again 2.1 లో 8 వచ్చింది అనుకోండి, then your assumption is, or your expectation or your decision is wrong. That's it. హర్ట్ అవ్వకండి. ఎవరైనా హర్ట్ అవుతున్నారా? సార్ అనమాట నన్ను ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు డూ అనాలిసిస్. సో దేర్ ఫోర్ యూ షుడ్ నాట్ టేక్ individual samples, individual observations into the consideration. Analytics combinedly you have to see the all the observations. So therefore in the third step, after processing, we have to do the analysis, not individual, combined. Always analytics on combined mode. 4 సబ్జెక్టులు ఓ గ్రేడ్లో వచ్చి ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్లో ఫెయిల్ అయ్యాడు అనుకోండి, ఏమంటారు? Combined, right? You know that operation success, patient died. No, that concept. ఆపరేషన్ థియేటర్ చాలా బాగుంది, అక్కడ పెట్టిన కత్తులు అయితే చాలా షార్ప్గా ఉన్నాయి, డాక్టర్ వేసుకున్న మన ఇది ఉంటుంది కదా కోటు చాలా నీట్గా ఉంది, నర్సు చాలా అందంగా ఉంది, ఆపరేషన్ థియేటర్లో ఏసీ చాలా బాగుంది, ఆపరేషన్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆపరేషన్ చేయించుకున్నాడు మాత్రం చచ్చిపోయాడు. Now tell me, that is scenario actually. So ultimately you should see that outcome. So therefore you have to provide the information always in terms of cumulative information you should see. Combined information you have to see. అందుకే even for your placements also, everybody will ask your 10th CGPA is 10 and your intermediate marks will be 950. You have 2 backlogs in first year or second year. Everybody will ask why the backlogs. But if your 10th CGPA is 8.5, if your intermediate CGPA is marks is 950 and your engineering CGPA is 8, and no one will ask why 8, why not 8.5 and 9, because they will see the consistency or combined effects or combined marks. So analytics is always combined. Now I have the information of voltages, currents at different intervals, and all the observations combinedly converted to identify the average power. See the average power. What is the average power? Now speak something regarding the average power. So 1395 is the average power. At 9 up to 11 a.m. your power drawn from the source is less than the average power. Beyond 11 you are consuming more power. Isn't it? Let us take it is our institute information. It is our institute information in the summer. At 9 o'clock, before 9 we don't have any power consumption. By 9 everybody will come. So they are switch on the loads, switch on the lights, switch on the fans. Therefore power gradually increased. 10 a.m. labs will also start. 11 a.m. again few more loads will be on. So that is the thing. So we have to see the information at central point. Therefore we have to combinedly see the power consumed by the college. So we need average value. So that is what the data analysis. So take the average value. With respect to average value, if you see up to 11 a.m. okay, everybody is using a limited amount of power. But after 11 a.m. everybody using excess power. But something is happened after 11. Why something is happened after 11? See, because current increased beyond 7. So where your possible overloading may be occurs. Now what is decision making? You can see the values of current or you can see the values of power to make the decision. If it is more than 7 amperes, you may raise the alarm so that overload may occur. The people are using excessive power. They are connected excessive load, and you can record the current value or you can record the power value. Based on power value or current value, you can control. and then you can schedule the maintenance, which load should be on, which load should be off. You have to optimize the load shedding. ఒక ఆపరేషన్ సారీ ఒక హాస్పిటల్ ఉంది, పవర్ కట్, పవర్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మనం అన్ని లోడ్స్ ఆన్ చేస్తాం. పవర్ కట్, మన లోడ్ కెపాసిటీ 100 వాట్స్ అనుకోండి, పవర్లో చెప్తున్నాను, 100 వాట్స్ అనుకోండి. ఆపరేషన్ థియేటర్లు రెండు ఉన్నాయి, 50-50, రిమైనింగ్ అంతా కలిపి 100. ఇప్పుడు మీరు దేనికి ప్రేరేట్ చేస్తారు? ఆపరేషన్ జరగకపోతే రిమైనింగ్, ఆపరేషన్ జరిగితే. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఆప్టిమల్ లోడ్స్ షేరింగ్. విచ్ లోడ్ షుడ్ బి ఆన్, విచ్ లోడ్ షుడ్ బి, ఇదంతా కూడా ఏంటంటే ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. విచ్ ఈ షుడ్ బి ఆన్, విచ్ ఈ షుడ్ బి ఆఫ్, అదంతా ఏంటంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు యూజ్ యువర్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. మీరు ఎక్కడైతే మీ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ యూజ్ చేసి డెసిషన్ తీసుకోవాలో దేర్ యూ కెన్ రీప్లేస్ విత్ మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ సిస్టమ్స్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ రిగార్డింగ్ వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఇంజనీరింగ్. క్లియర్? data collected, data processed, data analyzed, and then take the decisions. Our decisions, if you want to take wisely, then you are intelligent. If you replace a human being or an expert by a AI system, by providing your intelligence to the AI, it becomes a mission, a code, a program. By providing your information, your intelligence, your expert knowledge to the program, and if you use that program for to make the decision, then it is becomes AI. That's it. Making a machine as intelligent means machine is nothing but machine will work based on set of instructions. Set of instructions is called program, isn't it? So machines will work based on programs. If you provide your intelligence to the programs, then programs will be intelligent. Nothing but machines will be intelligent. That's it. Very simple. It is regarding the electrical. Followed by we have one mechanical example is there, and then computer science example will be there, and then water quality, your program related example will be there. And it is something different from your thing, feature. You will see. This point I will stop the lecture. After lunch again I will start. Okay, so we will see a few more examples of mechanical and civil and computer science examples cumulatively. After the data analysis, how the data will be converted into useful features, that is feature engineering, and the features how they will be given to the machine learning.